my name is Hongli, and today my presentation topic is the impact of tourism on environmental pollution in southwest China. And there are 6 parts of my presentation. For the first part is introduction, and as we all know, tourism industry is the largest industry in the world. And the number of international tourists will keep increasing in the world. From the figure 1, we can know that. And China has received a total of 60.74 million international overnight visitors in 2017, ranking 4th in the world, just after Spain, France, Spain, US. And next one is about carbon emission. According to the World Tourism Organization, tourism sector is responsible for 4.6% of global warming. And China currently accounts for more than a quarter of the world's total carbon emissions, and China is the largest emitter of greenhouse gas in the world. For my paper, we chose Southwest region because we can say in the figure 5, Southwest region is the red region, and this region was considered to be a poor and underdeveloped region in China, but it has good conditions to 1 belt 1 road, and this region is close to South Asia and Southeast Asia, and then in Trans-Asian Railway will link Kunming to Southeast Asia, so it will be significant to study this region. And the number of tourists in 5 provinces in the Southwest region was gradually increasing from 1995 to 2017. We can see the figure 6 is increasing in this year. And with the economic development and industrial structure changes of each province, including the implementation of China's low carbon policy, there are turning points in carbon emissions. And second part is literature review. In recent years, the relationship between tourism and its influence on socio-economic factors has aroused wide concern in academic circles. However, the relationship between tourism and climate change remains an academic field to be studied. And the former paper, they study about the relationship between tourism and carbon emission and the impact of tourism on carbon emission. I surprised it be international case and China case. So, and to the best of our knowledge, Southwestern has been studied, so we chose Southwest region. And the third part is the theoretical setting. The starting point of the theoretical setting in present study is that tourist arrivals must be determined of climate change. So in the model 2, the impact of tourism on environmental pollution is divided by using the function 1. We can see the dependent variable is CO2, that's carbon emission, and the independent variables are GDP and TA, trade and E. TA is tourist arrivals and trade is trade openings. E is energy consumption, and I explain in this table. This part data and methodology. The panel data used in this paper are annual figure covering the periods 1995 to 2017, and we collect the data from China Energy Statistical Yearbook and National Bureau of Statistics of China. And for the methodology, we use the panel ARDL model. And there are two methods of panel ARDL. One is MG, mean group estimation, and then is PMG, pooled mean group estimation. And then we use the Hausman test to choose the best model between MG and PMG. And this part is empirical results. The first result is panel interview test. To test the stationary of the data, we use LLC panel interview test, and we can see in table 1 all the variables will be stationary after first difference. And for MG estimation results are shown in the table 2. In the long run, all the variables are not significant. It reveals that there is no long-run relationship, and we can say the p-value is not significant. So MG estimation is not a good estimator in this study. And the result of PMG estimation in table 3, from the p-value we can know in the long run GDP, TA, trade openness and energy consumption, they will be significant in the at level 10% significant level, especially for our main variables, tourist arrivals. The p-value is 0. So it's very significant that, and it mean, and for coefficient, this is negative. So that means tourist arrival has relationship with carbon emission. And after test MG and PMG, then we use Hausman test to choose the best one of this method. And we can see this is MG and this PMG. And the result is Hausman statistic is 0.61. Here we include that the PMG estimate the efficient estimate under the null hypothesis. So PMG is preferred than MG. And just like what I said before, the coefficient of tourist arrivals is negative and statistically significant. So consequently, tourism sector is not a concern for environmental pollution in the sample province. The last part is conclusion. The results show that there is a positive impact of tourism on environment in Southwest Province in China. And the coefficient of tourism is negative, indicating that tourism sector assists in reducing the level of carbon emission and improve the environmental quality. So in the future, we can develop tourism industry that will be helpful for the environment. And similarly, trade openness tends to include the carbon emission and benefit for environment. However, the coefficient of energy consumption and GDP show that both of the variables have a negative impact on environment. So the impact of energy consumption is more significant than GDP. Okay, that's all my presentation. Thanks for listening.